Hello, this is a Yamaha C7 grand piano made in 2002, just come into stock, so just trying to assess it to see what work we might need to do to refine it. Now, first of all, the casework is absolutely immaculate. It's not been used at all practically, as we'll see from the hammers in a minute, and you can see normally you've got some scratching here as some sheet music's been put there and also on the music stand, but none of that. And we've perfected it if there are any very, very slight scratches, but really the casework is absolutely perfect right throughout the whole piano, and the pedals show no signs of wear either. The key tops show no scratching whatsoever, and again that's another sign of how much the piano's been used, so really it's like a new piano. Now here's the worksheet I've made for the piano, and first of all the touch weight, just to see how much it varies, and need to lower it very slightly here and there. The B is where the notes are slightly bright. I'm always doing that when I'm playing the piano, just to sort of, usually it's very, very light. If I put 1 mark, it means not very much. I think there's one with 2 marks on it, just slightly bright. Pitch raise is slightly flat. Again, that's not much, half a beat flat. We've raised it up to 442. Allow its time to drop. As I've mentioned before, I prefer pianos to, the idea is to not turn the tuning pins too much. That keeps it in very good condition and keeps it more stable. Fine regulation is, we'll have a look at the fine regulation and lubrication as well, partly because it's not been used really. Now middle C is going down at 52 grams. 50 grams, as you'll have known from previous videos, is what we're aiming for, plus or minus 2, so that's acceptable, but we'll try and reduce it slightly more. I have already lubricated the roller here, as we'll see in a minute, and also C sharp done exactly the same, and they're both going down with 52 grams now. They were both the same as the A here, which isn't going down with 52. Now the A is needing 56 grams to go down. I'm just encouraging it by tapping up, or you must put your foot on the sustain pedal, as we've mentioned before, and just going down now freely. This is what we're looking for. So let's have a look at the others. That's 56 grams plus. That's less, so that might not need so much. We've done that one, so we know that that's going to go down, and that one doesn't go down with 56 either. That one just about. So need to just even it off really. So now I've just pulled the action out. Something I don't think I've mentioned much is that we lubricate the keybed with furniture polish. We find is very good for that, just to make it very smooth, much easier to pull the action in and out, much easier to work on then. And if we look at the hammers here, we can see that the kind of wear there is, and really there's no significant indentation, just perhaps a very little wear for a year or so, or a year or two, and that's not, we don't need to reface that. Just to check it, it's useful to have the 3 markings for an accorder toning voicing, so we don't have to make those, and they're basically like a new hammer, and no need to do any refacing on that, just voice, little bits of voicing. I've checked the hinges here, they're not tight at all, so pennies get moist and those easily tighten up and makes it feel much heavier to play. So I've lubricated the rollers. I'll just show you that. So I've lubricated the rollers with Teflon in this case, Teflon or talc powder, which makes it smoother and also stops any squeaking. That one there hasn't yet been lubricated, just to show you the difference. Other regulation we've done is just the set off here by quarter of a turn. Seems to be the right amount. It mustn't be too much, otherwise the hammer won't perform properly. I'll try and show you that in a minute. And then the drop screw here. So adjusted the drop screw by a half a turn. If we watch how the hammer goes up when I turn this, if you can see the hammer is now higher than this one. I'll just show you once more. So the hammer to go down, back up a little bit. Let's take it too far, then you can see it easily. Now if it's too far, it just won't work properly. So I want to get it as close as possible, but not so far that it doesn't work properly. So that's obviously a minor fine regulation, anything that helps the pianist get more control. Just lubricating the roller means that this A that we measured off earlier, 56 grams I think, now the 52 grams goes down with, first of all, tapping underneath to overcome initial inertia, but the friction is less, and so it'll go down more easily. And that is noticeable across the keyboard. If it's done across the keyboard, is noticeable for a discerning pianist. I just realised I didn't show the inside of the piano. on the mechanism, just to say that it's immaculate. Very slightly dusty, we need to just clean it off slightly. But really, the piano's obviously extremely well kept as well, as not used at all, or not used hardly. And we can see the soundboard is perfect, the frame is perfect, and everything really is immaculate, like a new piano. Now, just to do a comparison with another piano, I'm sorry we don't have any other long pianos in this location. So obviously this has got bigger soundboard and deeper bass, so more resonant, deeper sound generally, more rich sound than a shorter piano. But we'll compare it with the Bösendorfer 170, which is a very good piano. Here's the Bösendorfer. And the tenor. And the bass. And the top range. So that's a Yamaha C7 grand piano, 227 centimeters long, that's 7'6". Just come into stock and made in 2002, but really is no different from a new piano. If you're buying a Yamaha and you want really high quality, really refined touch, which we believe we're going to get the touch as refined, if not more refined, than a new piano, we'll certainly take on the challenge of that anyway. So it's excellent for either a small concert grand or large domestic grand. If you've got a large room, if you think it might be overpowering, you can always deaden the sound by putting drapes and carpet, obviously, anything that will soften the piano's tone, because the bass is so good on a long piano. You just can't get that on a short one, obviously. The Bösendorfer is an ideal domestic piano if you haven't got space for this, but if you have got space, it's wonderful. It's very inspiring playing with such a strong bass. And also the big soundboard means that the tone round here is also very full. And it's very fluid to play, slightly heavy touch for me, and I would like to reduce it slightly. If you're a concert pianist and want a heavy touch, then we can obviously make it heavier as well. But really the normal touch of a concert piano is 50 to 52 grams down weight, and so we're aiming for that kind of weight really, plus or minus 2 grams. Encourages you to play loud, obviously, because it gets such a vibrant tone from it. But it also sings beautifully. If you're interested in the piano and would like to find out more, please do email us info@robertspianos.com. If you'd like to try the piano out, that is possible if you live too far away from us. Please let us know. If you're looking for a piano for a concert hall, there's nothing better really. Not for this length of piano anyway. Thank you very much for listening.